Thank you. A couple questions. Well, actually, there's a number of questions, but first off, what are your sales to date for the year?
I've currently sold around 46 jars, and it's a little over $1,100.
Okay. You mentioned that you would use prize money and whatever other
Correct.
money you have to do your own manufacturing. Have you looked at using a toll manufacturer and instead use what funds you have to develop the market and get market share? Why would you want to do your own manufacturing and get bogged down in that?
As of right now, one of my bottlenecks is the rendering production, because I'm doing everything myself. So I wanted, if I could transition, at least lower the time in which it's taking me to produce these jars, then I can focus that time into the marketing. And a portion of the proceeds will be into marketing as well.
Sue.
Okay, great. So you talked about the source, you talked about the ingredients for your product.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about sourcing the product and how difficult it is to find the quality that you're looking for?
Yeah. Thankfully, through my job, I was actually able to find, one of my clients was a butcher, and he lives out in Percy, so he actually owns his own farm. So I was able to grab the beef fat from him, and as well as far as the olive oil goes, it is single source cold pressed olive oil from California. So everything is all organic and natural made. And then the essential oils, it is something that I do buy through Amazon.
Okay. And are you required to have any approvals to sell this, any kind of regulatory approvals?
That's a great question. The answer is technically no. So through FDA regulations, we actually fall under the cosmetic guidelines. So as long as I have a full ingredient list and I don't make any medical claims, I'm actually fully FDA compliant because I don't have to be FDA approved.
Thank you.
Brandon, a couple questions. You talked about shelf life of your competitor. What's the shelf life of your product?
Shelf life would be over a year.
And did you do a business analysis plan as far as capital needed to scale this product?
So in terms of what I would be using, capital needed for, in terms of like equipment or anything, or just in general?
Capital needed for manufacturing and then marketing and
Yep. So if I win, I believe the first place prize is $10,000. So where I would allocate the money is I can get a full meat butchering equipment, the filtering, the rendering, and the separation of the thing for around $6,000 to $7,000, and then the rest would be into bulk raw materials and inventory. So that's what I would use, and then a portion of that would also be is marketing as well.
Couple of questions. I think first, as you think about this industry, it's pretty crowded,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty confusing. How do you think about really honing a message and differentiating, and is that differentiation sustainable over time?
It's a great question, Daniel. Absolutely. So I forgot it in my pitch, but the beef tallow bond market is actually $88 million. And I think, as you can tell, a lot of consumers are wanting natural, sustainable products versus, as I mentioned before, in these lotions, it's a whole bunch of chemicals. So I think a lot of people are transitioning to that. As far as differentiation, my jars only have 2 to 4 ingredients. If you look at any of these top name competitors, they have almost a fifth of the bottle is filled with ingredients. Not to mention my personal story. As you saw, my face, my whole body was riddled with acne and psoriasis, and I think that relates to a lot of other people who can attest to that.
As we look at what protection do you have for your product and for the ingredients, started even mentioning where you got some ingredients. I would advise you not to do that. You keep that to yourself. Do you need to post or put that on the product? And number 2, how can you protect it? Have you looked at getting a patent for your formulation?
I have looked at that, and no, I cannot actually patent because it's just the raw materials.
Well, did you talk to an attorney?
I have talked to an attorney about, in terms of allergic reactions and things like that, but
No, you go talk to a patent attorney, because there's a way that you can do it and protect yourself, at least for several years while you're doing a patent application. But it's very, very important that you protect yourself and protect the product and how you formulate it.
thank you, sir.
So when you graduate, you're gonna spend full time on this, right?
So I do have a full-time offer outside of school, but I'm fully committed to this to transition to make this my full-time job.
So you're just gonna do it part-time?
I'm sorry?
You're just going to do this part-time while you work
No.
someplace else?
No, my plan is to make this my full-time job, to make this a full business with
Okay.
multiple product lines.
And what do you look at in the first year doing it full-time? How much, what kind of sales?
I plan to at least make it a 5-figure company within the next year. I plan to go on, there's craft shows within this December. I plan on going back to A-Day as well, and focusing a lot on the social media marketing aspect as well.
Great, just to follow up a little bit on the business plan side and the sales or the revenue, have you thought about how big you want your business to be and how you can scale it?
Yeah, so right now where my main priority is, it's the TikTok business. So the TikTok shop is something that I've used, and you can spend very minimal in terms of capital costs versus like viewer size. So I can say pay for like $3 to get like 60,000 views just based on one video. And on the analytics of that, it can tell me how long users were on that video. They can tell me how many swiped through it and which one actually converted into actual checkout.
And how big do you want to see the company get to? What's your dream goal?
6 figures.
Thank you.
So Brandon, you're on TikTok, and all of a sudden you get an order for 100 jars a day. Is your manufacturer able to produce that? How fast can you produce a jar?
I have calculated it, I can produce around 23 jars per 1 hour, and that's just me by myself. But if something like that were to come up, I'm going to hopefully have employees in the future, and even partnering, after this becomes a real business, even partnering with Del Val through the E360 program and have interns come along and help me with that process.
Yeah. So that's where I come back to that capital plan and your business plan, as Sue just mentioned, about capital you're going to need, because
Right.
typically one of the challenges new businesses have is the capital part of it. You may want to do an analysis on that, financials. Have you done that? If you're producing, say you're producing 1,000 jars a week, have you done the financial plan on that?
I have not, Blair, no, I have not. Thank you.
Okay.
You mentioned $4 or $4.05.
Correct.
Whatever you said. That's the product cost of the ingredients, the jar, doesn't take into account your labor?
It is taking into account my labor at $10 an hour per 23 jars of output.
So what do you want to get this cost to?
If I invest the money into the rendering equipment, I can get it just under $3. One of the big issues right now that I'm hoping to expand into the 2-ounce jars is, unfortunately, the jar size is the labels that I'm using on the top of the jars, and it's costing me $1 a label, but I can get that down to 7 cents per label.
You want to go retail? You want to get on
Why not?
big box shelves?
Yeah.
How do you do
course.
that?
I expand my business first. Now, I would first obviously get the sales and be more credible, but I would try my best to continue to talk to people or reach out my best in the best way I can.
It seems to me, as you talk, that your geographical market is kind of limited to this area and to maybe a couple states. By being in social media and on the web, you could sell any place here or overseas. So have you looked at that? Have you considered that? And and the corollary to that is that you could all of a sudden have to make 1,000 jars or sell them out a week. So have you considered that, or are you just looking for a local market?
That is something that I've considered. As of right now, I'm just looking in the U.S. because that's what I can do for distribution. But that is something I will be looking to in the future.
The entire country or just here local? Because you're talking about going and showing this at
Oh,
A-Day or
yeah,
fairs
yes,
and
no,
stuff
no.
here.
The entire country, yeah, the entire country.
Time's up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why didn't you guys cut me off? Thank you very
off the
much.
boss, Bill.
Appreciate it.
Can I take a selfie up here? No.
Really quickly.
Can I take a selfie really quick, everybody?
Brandon Haniff, one of our students. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
So it's now my pleasure to introduce Julian Gardner, founder of Bodemals and inventor of the Bottle Lovey. So please welcome Julian.
Hi, I'm Julianne Gardner, founder of Bottomals, where we aim to take babies from bottle refusal to bottle bliss using the extraordinary powers of mom scent. When my son Blake was born, all was going as smooth as can be expected until we introduced the bottle. To our surprise, he would gag and scream even at the sight of it, despite us trying every brand of bottle that we could find. This brought chaos to our household, and for nearly the first year of his life, I was unable to leave him with my husband or another caregiver. And the doctor's advice was simply to refuse to feed him until he was hungry enough to accept the bottle. As a mom, I knew there had to be another way. Leaning into my degree in biology and 13-year career in clinical trial research, I set out to do my own research, finding that it's a global phenomenon called bottle refusal, which impacts millions of babies worldwide every year. You might be asking yourself, is this really a problem that needs to be solved? A UK research study found that nearly 60% of breastfed babies don't have a bottle solution that works, and we all know that babies need to eat. It's also the topic of blogs and viral videos with suggested solutions that seem extreme. So I set out to create my own solution. And it's simple. Mom Scent is scientifically proven to soothe babies and encourage feeding. Research studies shows that babies exposed to Mom Scent stop crying sooner, elicit mouthing reflexes, and even gain weight faster. Using my patent-pending Bottle Lovey is simple. Mom wears the heart-shaped pad to absorb her scent. The pad is placed in the Lovey's pocket, and the Lovey slides onto the bottle, keeping Mom's scent close to the baby during feeding time. Easy as 1, 2, 3 for busy families. The Bottomals Bottle Lovey is designed to make feeding time a whole lot easier for the entire family, and the magic behind it is simple. It smells like mom, and the sweet animal friend doesn't hurt either. Since our launch this June, we are seeing great progress. We are in 18 retail stores simply through door knocking and in-person pitching. And our growing network of collaborative partners demonstrates the undeniable value and need for the Bottle Lovey. This week, we are live with a giveaway through the Goddard School, and stay tuned for another exciting giveaway opportunity the second week of December with 2 leading baby brands and Bottomals. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but I have also found that this applies to a business. While it comes to competitors offering solutions claiming they ergonomically mimic mom, Bottomals uniquely harnesses the proven benefits of Mom Scent. I like to think that we have a competitive advantage as we are the first ever Bottle Lovey on the market, and with my planned pipeline, we'll one day have products to support the whole family from for babies from infancy through toddlerhood. Currently, our profit margins are around 70%, and we're on track to exceed 80% margins with future production runs. We plan to grow our revenue each year through additional bottle levy products, business collaborations, word of mouth, and marketing tactics to drive a snowball effect of growth over the coming years. With the Spark Bowl winnings, I plan to use the funds to protect my innovation, grow my product pipeline, and also grow our presence online to drive sales through my e-commerce platform. Bottle refusal isn't rare. It impacts families right here in Bucks County, and you can see the direct impact with one of my collaborative partners, Mariah Martin, who is a postpartum doula. Next, I'll share the story of Maddie and her baby Charlotte, featured on 6 ABC News. Maddie was a mom with a baby who wouldn't take a bottle until they discovered the bottle levy.
She's also grateful for strangers like Maddie Tomford, who tested the product after seeing Julianne's post on Facebook. Maddie tried it with her daughter Charlotte the first time she left her then 6-month-old with a bottle and grandma.
Combination of, having that scent, I think, of me and knowing like, okay, this is someone I'm comfortable with. She did great.
The Bottomless team is a small but mighty team of moms with professional experience in clinical trial research, marketing, and business growth and strategy. At Bottomless, we believe that every feeding moment should be filled with love, not tears. We've seen the difference comfort makes, and we're ready to bring that comfort and peace of mind to families everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess the slide went quickly. What are your sales to date?
So far, we've sold nearly 350, and we're really
350
units.
Oh, units. Okay,
Yes.
so at how much a unit?
$29.99.
Okay. So what do you see happening for the next 12 months?
So for the next 12 months, I might break it down even further to the next couple weeks. So right now we're live with a giveaway through the corporate Goddard School, which is very exciting because they have a great distribution list and are also promoting our brand through their platforms. And then in a few weeks, we're also going to be collaborating with 2 leading baby brands. Over the next 6 months, I really hope to grow sales to reach 5,000 units sold by 1 year, so next June. We are expanding our product pipeline to add additional color heart pads. That has been one of the biggest requests. I don't know if I can go back, but currently we just sell pink. Other people are asking for blue and gray, and we are also adding additional animals to help grow our sales.
Are you doing this full time?
I am.
Okay.
Well, we know you're a mom full-time, but that's okay.
Yes.
So how are you handling the manufacturing?
So right now, I'm manufacturing overseas, and there is a program. So my product is considered a stuffed toy. So there is a program through the Toy Association that I'm a part of. You pay into it, and you get access to vetted manufacturers from an ethical perspective. So I get direct access to those manufacturers through a subscription, and I get to work with them directly, which is really nice. There's no sourcing agent or middleman. I coordinate directly with the factories, and I know that they're already previously vetted.
And one of the things that you mentioned in your presentation, you alluded to competition. Did someone take your idea, or are you still out there by yourself?
No, right now, as far as I know, I'm out there by myself. The competition really is other bottles that, claim the nipple shape. The bottle mimics mom ergonomically.
I think you mentioned that you worked with 18 retail stores?
Yes.
In addition to the Goddard School, and that's been your distribution line right now?
And my e-commerce website.
So of that 350 in sales you have so far, can you give me a little better idea of how many of those are in the retail store?
About 125.
Yeah. And what are your expectations going forward with that?
So my initial thought was that I was going to get into retail stores, and they, just by people seeing the product, it would start to spread like that. But over the last 5 months, I've learned that I actually need to be the storyteller, and which will drive people to actually go to those businesses. I can give you an example. I did a news segment with 6ABC News, and from that news segment, I heard from many of the stores that are selling our product that they actually had customers coming there because they saw the video clip. So right now, I do have some sales with retail stores, but I'm really looking to find other ways for me to tell the story so I can, get the story out through me, and then hopefully the retail stores additionally will come later on as well.
And I guess along those lines, that's the Goddard School connection. So that's a franchise, right? They're franchised?
Sure.
So you said you're dealing with the corporate office at the Goddard School?
They are doing a giveaway of our product this month. Actually, this week they have a giveaway for on social media for their families. So we are part of that giveaway, which has been really exciting.
So my 3 grandkids go to the Goddard School.
That's great.
So, and my daughter has a 4-month-old. So am I going to see this product at my daughter's house?
I hope so.
Thank you.
Sure.
So how do you think about cutting through the noise to get your message out there? I mean, baby products, fads, you name it. I mean, my kids have kids, and I just see all the various noise things. How do you,
Yeah.
you talked about you, but it's tough to scale you. How do you kind of create the pull?
So one of the lessons learned that I've also discovered from the last 5 months is I thought the influencer market would be really important for me, which I think eventually it will, but they're expensive. And so instead of going that route, I have actually seen a lot of success with traditional media. My example going back again through the 6ABC News segment that I did. Also, I'm a graduate of Penn State, and they have done an article about my business too. And I saw a lot of sales just coming through that article. So I definitely am pursuing more of the traditional media route to be able to get the word out there more about my company and my story.
Is there any protection at all so that somebody can, if you start to make sales? See, you're saying in year 3, you hope to do a couple mil, and then you'll start to get attention. What protection do you have on this product for they don't get knocked off or copied?
So I have my provisional patent was filed last year, and just within the last 2 weeks, we filed for the utility patent through the PCT pipeline. I think there's always a chance that someone could knock it off, but the one thing they can't knock off is all of my other ideas that I have coming down the pipeline too. So in addition to the bottle levy, I have other products that I'd like to pursue as the bottle levy takes off and I start bringing revenue in.
Just advice from my experience, be very careful having it manufactured overseas because they can copy and these patents will not protect you or here very well. Just one question on a personal, not personal side, but on a, somebody has to give this to and wrap it around the bottle for the baby is what I see. Now, that's, somebody is handling somebody else's body odor, sweat, whatever. Have you had any feedback or concern from people that they don't want to do this or they're concerned about handling somebody else's intimate, let's call it patch or whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't had that feedback yet, and but when you have a baby who won't take a bottle, you will literally do anything to get them to take a bottle, especially coming from mom. I couldn't leave my son for the first year of his life, and so many other families have that experience too. I was lucky enough where I was working from home, and he could stay home with me. But if I hadn't been in that situation, I likely would have had to quit my job, which I know a lot of moms do have to do that. So I haven't had that feedback, but probably a family's gonna do whatever they have to do to get the baby to take a bottle.
Hey, how long does a scent last before it has to be replaced? And how long does the actual patch last before it won't hold it any longer?
So it really comes down to pheromones, which there is so much research done on pheromones and how long the scent lasts. The research study that my product is based on, they had moms where it was conducted in a hospital, so they had moms wear a hospital gown for 2 hours, and until it was used, it was placed in a sealed Ziploc bag, and it was then used within 4 hours. There are other research studies using mom scent to test different types of things with babies, where they have mom wear something for like an overnight period, and then pheromones have been shown in different research studies to last for days to even weeks, and specifically to the mammary gland, there is research to support that too.
Are you a sole person, owner, and marketer, and everything? Do you have anyone working with you?
I do have a wonderful fellow mom who can, Jill, where are you? She is doing my social media. She came to me before I had launched the product, knowing what I had gone through with bottle refusal. We're longtime friends. And she said, help me. I know your baby wouldn't take a bottle. Mine won't take one either. Do you have, like, what did you do? And I said, I actually have a product that I'm developing. Do you want to be one of my beta testers? And her baby took the bottle from grandma while she was preparing to go back to work. And she said, I'll come and whatever you want me to do, I'll come and do it with you. So now we work together. She's doing all my social media.
That's great. I think we're probably out of time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
She's
Now for our next contestant, I'm happy to invite to the stage Sean Bernelmeyer from Indoor Nav Pro.
Just make sure this works real quick. All right, so my story starts here in Bucks County, where I was born and raised. Now, at 11 years old, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which just meant occasional trips to hospitals. Now, even just these few trips every year, I noticed how stressful and difficult it was navigating hospitals, especially when my mom stopped going with me. So with that, that stuck to me, and it led me to pursue my degree in computer science and ultimately build and pursue this venture that I introduced called Indoor Nav Pro. Now, getting lost inside hospitals, it's more than just an inconvenience. Missed and delayed appointments tied specifically to navigation problems cost an estimated $150 billion in the US healthcare industry. And 30% of first-time visitors at hospitals get lost, according to Deloitte Digital. So this problem is real and it's quantified. Now, to validate those pain points even further, I spoke with the Patient Family Advisory Council at Doylestown Health, our neighbors right across the street. And during that discussion, what they told me was that if I went and spoke to hospitals, a majority of them would say that wayfinding is a current challenge that they face. Another thing that we talked about during our discussion was how it affects patient care. So if someone arrives late due to navigational issues, there's two options. Either you condense that appointment down, so critical topics that you were going to talk about either get glossed over or skipped entirely, or you accommodate them and fit their schedule in, and now everybody else for the rest of the day gets delayed. So no matter what, there's a diminished care. So our goal at Indoor Nav Pro is to help patients easily find their way through hospitals, improve their patient care experience, and also minimize those delays and missed appointments. We do this by building a dedicated mobile app. So think of it like Google Maps, but specifically adopted for indoor spaces and more so for hospitals. So what we do is we take their floor plans and we digitize it into a map. We also build what's called an indoor positioning system That allows the user to see exactly where they're standing within the facility and get turn-by-turn directions wherever they need to go. So the market opportunity, it's actually fairly big. Especially here in Bucks County, there are 7 major hospitals, and there's over 6,000 in the US. Now, the average spend or investment of IT departments in hospitals is about $9.5 million. And our service would cost roughly 2 to 5% of that. So it's extremely affordable for these budgets, and we're solving a billion-dollar problem. So why us? So this market is new, but it's big, but the competition is scarce, and we've identified only one true competitor. And how we're different from them is that they build what we're calling large digital front doors. So a mobile app for a hospital that does everything you would get by going to a hospital. Appointment scheduling, telehealth, prescriptions. We don't want to do all that. Our problem that we're solving is indoor navigation, the missed and delayed appointments. So we aim to be the best in class for that. We want to specialize in it. So here's a financial outlook for the next 5 years, assuming we start business in 2026. So we are conservatively predicting that we can onboard 1 new hospital in the first 3 years. You can see, and I want you to know, we actually have 2 streams of revenue. So we have the initial onboarding and integration that comes from building the app, setting up the system, and then we have recurring subscriptions, maintenance, upkeep, any changes, hospitals change, renovations happen. So we have 2 streams. Those subscriptions compound as we get more hospitals. So it exponentially grows, you can see by the chart. So reaching hospitals, kind of our path to market. As I mentioned, I'm already discussing with PFAC group at Doylestown Health. Now what they told me is that this group is actually really popular among all large hospitals. So what we want to do is continue to discuss with these groups, validate our pain points further, but identify a location for a pilot installation. Get this tech in a hospital. We know it works. I've built the prototype. I have an MVP. We want to get it in the doors. So we are on the cusp of a pilot. That's the next step. From there, we can do content case studies, build our marketing materials, build our brand. So going along that, our next steps, we're in talks with the PFAC group at Doylestown Health. In the next couple days, I'll be meeting with the head, with the Department of Volunteers, the volunteer department at Doylestown Health, to discuss the possibility of a pilot installation, because they recently did a wayfinding study, and they found that this is a problem that they are trying to solve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Time's up. So at this point, there are no clients and nobody's tested it or tried it, right?
Correct. There's no clients. I did set up a system, a small scale inside a entrepreneurship center down in Salisbury, Maryland. So no clients, but we have built the system and we've tested it just on a small inside scale.
I have a number of questions, but let me just get to the one. I don't understand the financial model. Who's buying this from you? Who's paying for it?
So ultimately, what I'm understanding is that the IT departments would pay for it. Now, hospitals can get complex. Ultimately, you have to find the decision makers, and that's usually the board members. But that's for them to decide what budget it comes out. But we predict, since it's technology related, it's going to come out of the IT budget.
So they're going to come in, so you have to go and this is a knock on the door, every single one, right?
For what?
To get a sale. You got to go to
Correct.
Doylestown, you got to go to Grandview, you got to go Penn, wherever.
It is now, but ultimately what I believe is that it will be a snowball effect because many of these hospitals all fall under one network. So if we get a pilot installation and it's a success in one, what's stopping them from wanting it in all of their locations?
I best let,
Okay, great. So when you think about the demographics of who's visiting the hospitals, what percentage do you think would actually use an app?
An app? So I would roughly and conservatively estimate it to be probably 50% or higher. And it really could be 80%. It depends on what demographic you're identifying. Obviously, the average age of somebody coming in is probably over 55. But anybody who's going in there needs wayfinding. And during my discussion, what we found is that it's not just an app, it's an entire package that has to go together. It's signage, it's the app, it's everything combined. It's volunteers. So a volunteer might have the app and help someone along the way with it, especially if you're onboarding a new volunteer. If I go to a hospital and I want to help, but I've never been in there or maybe been in there once, how can I help someone if I don't know how to get around? So the app can be in the volunteers' hands. It can be in anybody coming along. Oftentimes, children or kids might accompany their parents or grandparents coming around. So maybe the grandparent isn't the one using the app, but their child or their caregiver might be using it. So if that answers your question, ultimately I think that it's anybody's guess, but I would conservatively say at least 50% are using it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so obviously, healthcare is a major concern in the world today, and hospitals are losing money and hospitals are making money, and different size hospitals. So this product that you're going to offer that you've talked with Doylestown about, which is part of Penn now, right?
Right, correct.
So Penn's a $12 billion revenue organization. You had St. Luke's up there, which is a
Yep,
$4.5 billion revenue organization.
correct.
Jeff is a 16 billion, right? So help me understand the value to the hospital when they want to invest in this product without really seeing a return on that, when they're investing millions of dollars for new technology in equipment and other areas.
Right. So, so there's kind of a couple pieces to the answer to that. So the first thing is kind of our affordability. So we're estimating to be somewhere around $150,000 for the integration of this. Obviously, it depends on the size and scale of the hospital. If they're doing multiple hospitals, then that would multiply. But to see a return on that investment, ultimately, there has to be numbers on the wayfinding, right? On their missed and delayed appointments. But that's the problem that we're trying to solve. We know that when someone shows up late, it affects everybody else. It only takes really 1 or 2 late appointments for someone to come in and have a 45-minute wait time now. And if they don't feel like waiting that anymore, they leave. So that appointment, the copay is gone. If they were getting an MRI, that scan is gone. So it's money, it's revenue that they were initially going to have that's gone. So the return on investment comes from mitigating those losses. So hopefully that answers your question. And if you want to follow up on that, I can
No,
definitely elaborate
think,
more.
yeah, you've answered the question. The challenge, I think, is going to be convincing decision makers that that's going to be a wise investment when they have many other investments they're making.
Absolutely, especially in the healthcare field where, you know, they don't really, they're not trying to just invest money everywhere. They like to keep their budgets tight. But that's ultimately what we want to try to prove with a pilot installation. We get one in and we make it that success because I know that it will work. I'm passionate about this. I know personally that when I've navigated these hospitals, it's a pain and the signs aren't enough. They add new renovations, they change departments. You can go there a year, come back 3 years later, the whole thing changed. They have a whole new building next to it. So it's really just getting that first pilot installation and proving it, documenting the entire process like your typical case study. So yes, it will be challenging getting that first pilot installation, but I believe we're already on the cusp of that with Doylestown Health.
So I'm just trying to get my head around what it is you own. You own an app.
Correct.
You created an app. You don't own the data. You're just, anybody could go and take their blueprints and suck in the data, just like you did?
Like convert the
Files to digital, which can put into a mapping.
it can be done.
Maps does. I mean,
Yes, but also there is, so then you just have a map. But now how do you get around? It's no different than having just a paper map. So now you have to build the system that allows you to have
and
indoor
how do you
positioning.
get the data to do that?
Get the data, I'm just
How
confused
to
in the
get
terms of
around?
data.
I mean, what departments where and how to go, and what elevator? I mean, do you go, I mean, Google drove cars around for
Right, so for this,
miles. You walk people around to take,
so hospitals, you can walk around and map it. I actually did that at my university when I was first testing this. But for hospitals and most large buildings, they're supposed to have floor plans. They have to have floor plans, especially when they renovate. Oftentimes it's public information when they do proposals or add any new renovations. That's usually through their facilities plant or management departments. And I forget the name, but I actually did speak with one of them at Penn Medicine. And ultimately they said, we can't release that until you actually are partnered with somebody here. But they do have those files. And what you do is, once we're established that we're going to build this with them, I'm not just gonna go through the back door and do it on my own. They provide those blueprints, and then we convert it. They are very well labeled. Room numbers, sometimes even what the wing is for, elevators, emergency exits, all of that. And I'd like to mention also that we will have accessibility features. So if you come in a wheelchair, you're on crutches, we're not gonna lead you to stairs. We're gonna take you to an elevator.
so how long is the cycle from the minute you sign the contract, get the information, to have the app
And have the app running.
running?
So Ultimately, I'm estimating it to be about 3 months, assuming obviously no hiccups. We get those blueprints and immediately we're converting those to digital maps. Now at the same time, because I want to delegate this into teams, we have the development team, they would convert those maps to those blueprints to a digital map, and they're also going to build that mobile app around it and put that on. At the same time, we have an IT team that's installing the hardware and setting up that positioning system. So those are the two main phases. At the end, you just put everything together, test it, make sure it works. But I'd like to realistically estimate that it could be 3 months. Could be a little bit more, obviously. Hospitals are busy. There might be people moving around. We have to schedule around when they're not as busy. But I would estimate about 3 months to get it built and functioning.
In hospitals, and especially here with Doylestown, they have volunteers that'll take you any place you want to go.
Correct.
And so that already exists. But it also seems to me that you have two sales you have to make. One, the hospital has to buy this app, right? And the other is you have to sell to the patient coming in that they will use it and they have to download it. That seems to me your sales effort here is not going to be cheap.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right. There pretty much is two sales. So you have to get the hospital to want to buy it, and then you have to make it known that it exists. That, hey, patients are coming in. By the way, we have this app. We don't want to spend, close to $150,000, $200,000 on an app that sits there and no one knows it. But right now, when you schedule an appointment, you get email reminders that your appointment's coming up. You get text messages. So if we can just integrate it in there, hey, you have an appointment coming up, do your online check-in. By the way, if you need directions, we have this app, download it, here it is. And you get that text message like 3 times. You get those emails. They're already integrating MyChart. A lot of places have MyChart. So if they're already advertising one mobile app, what's different? If it's successful and they've already got that in the hands of people, how much different could it be to get that in their hands? There was something else, but I forget what you initially started.
That's right. Yeah, because I want to let others ask you a question. We got 53. Have you yet loaded a hospital and done the app for something like Doylestown with all the possibilities? Have you done that?
Possibilities, and I'm not
Well,
sure.
in other words, someone comes, they got to go see Dr. Smith or whatever.
Right.
Do you have that in an app for a real hospital?
Not yet, but we can absolutely build it. For a real hospital, I've been speaking with that PFAC group, and it's made up of community members and staff. So we know the insights, we know what they're experiencing. Going back to when you said volunteers, that's the #1 way people get around right now. But when you go, and you might have to just take a trip to 3 different spots. You might have to go to radiology, then go get labs, and go get an MRI, something like that. The volunteer's not with you every single time. They get you to the first place, and that's it. So hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You want this?
Thank you, Sean. So it's now my pleasure to invite to the stage Joe Osborne, Head of Sales of Mojas.
Hello. All right, thanks for having me, Delaware Valley. Appreciate you hearing me out. My name is Joe Osborne. We're Mojo Industries, doing business as Mojas. We're creating America's next great candy desserts. I grew up in Horsham, right nearby. I go to my summers at Ocean City, New Jersey. I loved eating water ice, eating gummy bears and ice cream, and playing video games. So the company was started by me and my wife, who's with our 3 kids right now. I think cheerleading in practice, but she's Maureen, so Mo, and I'm Joe Oz, so that's Moja. So just got a question for the audience. By show of hands, maybe has anybody here had water ice? All right, good. All right, now has anybody had water ice in an edible cone? All right, good. All right. So, introducing the Moja's Gummy Cone, the world's first and only Italian ice cone. So, if you like a blue raspberry lemonade, you get a blue raspberry ice with a lemon gummy cone. Or if you like strawberries and cream, you get a vanilla ice cream with a strawberry gummy cone. So, instantly, you have 4 times as many flavors. It's gluten-free for the celiacs, it's vegan, it's halal, and it's kosher. So it's really inclusive. Anybody can enjoy it. But on top of all that, it's delicious. So you're really combining your two favorite treats into one. It's really for the children. So we have mango, lemon, strawberry, and recently released blue raspberry this season. So now that we're at college, we're going to do a little history class. The guy on the left is Nero, Emperor Nero. In 54 AD, he sent his servants up to the mountains to collect snow, which then they came down and flavored with fruit and honey. So shave ice was invented way back when. And then you see the picture right, that's 1904 at the St. Louis World's Fair. The ice cream vendor ran out of his paper licks, happened to be next to the waffle vendor, and the waffle cone was born. So fast forward to today, there's really been a lack of innovation in ice cream. You can get a dozen different kinds of ice cream cones. You get a waffle cone, you can get a sugar cone, a cake cone, an Oreo cone, a pretzel cone. You can get a dozen different kinds of ices. You can get water ice around here, Italian ice, shave ice, sorbet, frozen yogurt. Well, you can't get any cone for that, so, till now. So in 2013, 43% of adults preferred ice cream in a cone, and then 62% 9 years later. So how many adults, and really how many children, prefer their ice in a cone? We didn't know the answer to that, now we will. So frozen desserts is a $26 billion industry. Gummy is a $24 billion industry. We're marrying the two. Like I said, everybody loves gummies and ice cream. So I'm going to pass it off to my guy, Rich. Oh, get this to work.
Today, I'm going to be showing you 3 ways that you can use Moja's candy cones at the Del Val Dining Hall. Let's go. Getting some pina colada ice, you can mix that with their strawberry cone. Using vanilla ice cream, mixing it with their mango cone. And even getting strawberry ice to make a strawberry lemonade with their lemon cone. And there you go. There is way more to try, but just 3 flavor combinations that how we can utilize Moja's candy cones at our dining hall. Leave a like and a follow for more.
All right, shout out
Today,
Rich.
I'm going to be showing you.
All right, but so kind of in line with that, we're going to use Delaware, we're going to invest some of this money back into Delaware Valley. A student-led influencer campaign led by our guy Rich, who's got a big social media presence with his Untamed channel as a project manager, going to creating original content at local Bucks County ice cream parlors. So really a win-win. And my manufacturing facility is in Linden, New Jersey. It's like 2-hour commute each way, so it's a pain. So I'm eventually going to, I live in North Wales, so eventual permanent relocation around here. So it's a little bit of our early progress. We just launched in June to a lot of great success. Got some early feedback that we needed to make a few changes. So we made those changes towards the end of the summer, and we're back in November with our largest distributor yet, who's helping us with our Amazon presence. So what's next? We have a lot of SKUs in line and a couple of revenue streams. That isn't really our core business, but this is kind of a modest projection of where we expect to be in a few years. And last but not least is my team. They're incredible. Most gummies are made the same way on a starch mogul, so we had to come up with our own proprietary process, as this is a lot taller than a regular gummy. And then Jeff Bogus, my other partner, invented Nerds Gummy Cluster. So I actually saw that in the vending machine over there. But he saved his best product for next, for this. So that's my time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How does this work financially? Your costs, sales?
Yeah, so we have pretty healthy margins. I mean, it's a premium item, so it's the more expensive ice cream cone option on the market. But we're on a pretty small scale right now, so we'll be able to drive those costs down.
How do you sell it? One cone? Do you sell a box of 100 or whatever?
So we sell in pallets. So there's 8,400 cones in a pallet, which is 210 boxes. There's 2 buckets per box, so 420 buckets. So I've been focused on.
So what's the resale and what's the?
The cost of distributors is $1.50.
So to the distributor is $1.50.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And
Or
what's your
franchises.
cost on that $1.50?
53 cents before labor.
Okay. So.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about, without trade secrets, ingredients and the healthiness of the product.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was specifically formulated for this. So it's been a long journey. I've been at this for 10 years. I used to play video games a lot. And to get online, to play like sports video games, this is 10 years ago. This was before I had kids and was married. But you just needed one hand to get to play a sports video game. And I would eat water ice a lot. I lived in South Philadelphia. And I would think, if I was eating an ice cream cone, I'd be able to get through this. So I was like, there should be a cone for water ice. So that's kind of where it started. Can you?
Ingredients.
The ingredients, yeah.
Without trade secrets.
Absolutely. So it was formulated specifically for this. So I've been fortunate to link up with a few Candy Hall of Famers who have all played their part in developing the recipe, I guess. So it's a proprietary formulation. Like I said, 98% of gummies are made on a starch mogul. So gummy bears, gummy worms, anything you see in the store. So we had to come up with our own proprietary process. So that was the hardest part of the journey and that's why I'm in Linden, New Jersey. My partner Carlos is based out of there, but he's like a real life MacGyver. So.
And can you market it that it's? I know you said like gluten-free.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But just generally the healthiness of the ingredients.
Yeah, that's been. I've gotten a lot of good publicity off that from the the health angles and the inclusiveness angle. So it being gluten-free, it being for the celiacs, vegan, halal, and kosher. So. Okay. Most gummies are made with gelatin. This has no gelatin in it, which allows it to be all that.
Okay, great, thanks.
Thank you.
So natural ingredients, so that's a different ingredient than what a gummy bear has? Is that what
well, I mean, majority of gummies, are gelatin-based, which if you ever had gummy bears in your ice cream, they get rock hard. So this is going to kind of remain soft. So it's going to lead to a better eating experience when eating ice cream. But just for our formulation, gelatin was never really an option because it gets so hard. It doesn't really work in this application. So we use gelatin spin-offs, so carrageenan and pectin, and a lot of other things.
So what's the shelf life of something like that?
It's good for a year.
How long?
1 year.
1 year?
Yes, sir.
So how much can you produce? You said, I think, did you create your own machine?
Yeah, we have our own process. Yeah, absolutely. So we're the only ones doing anything like this. We can do 1,500 a day at in an 8-hour day right now with my my small team.
That's one machine?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to come back to the capital question. Have you done a financial plan as far as sales, capital needs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm bootstrapped right now, so we're fortunate enough to have some orders coming in. So I'm hopefully not going to need any capital, to be honest with you.
Except for your own.
Well, yeah, we're right, obviously, yeah.
So are you a sole owner or?
Yeah, I'm the majority owner. I gave a couple of my partners have equity. So my two guys to the right have a small equity, and my other guy's my landlord. So.
Okay, thanks.
How do you think about moving beyond this region and geographically?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we're already doing that now. I already have commitments down south in a major Italian ice franchise. But we just released in June, so apparently the ice cream season is kind of over in June. I thought it had just started, but they do their ordering months in advance. So we came out and we focused on the local area being it's kind of the birthplace of water ice. Over the wintertime, since we got a retooling and our new cone sleeves and all that sorted out, I've been focusing on expanding down south and out west. So, I foresee this anywhere you get an ice cream cone, you get a gummy cone. Because like I said, we have water ice here, but in New York it's Italian ice. In New Orleans it's a snow cone. In Baltimore it's a snowball. In Hawaii it's shave ice. So there's ice everywhere, and there's no cone for it anywhere. So that's how we plan on expanding.
Are there any competitors out there today not doing the gummy thing, but going after the same use case?
Nah, I mean everybody's got competition, but I don't really have any competition. So ice cream cones, there's a Joy in Western PA. They're pretty much the monopoly. I mean, there's a few smaller players, but they're all baking based. So I'm going against my direct competition are all bakers. I'm making candy, so it's not really. And then, anything you might get in the grocery store, all the kids are getting gummy bears, gummy worms, gummy sharks. Any gummy thing is a candy manufacturer that's doing on a starch mogul, and it's not really their lane. They're not going in for food service. So at this point, I don't have any competition. So hopefully, by the time I do, I'll be too big for them.
Are you, let me understand, are you selling this through food distributors?
Yes, sir.
You're not selling direct like to
I sell direct to franchises.
to the franchisee or the franchisor?
Franchisor.
Okay. And since it is a food product, I trust you have product liability insurance?
Yeah, we have insurance and we're ready.
No, product liability.
Yeah, I have product liability insurance.
It's best check.
I'll check that. All right. I'm pretty sure I do.
Can you talk a little bit about how you're marketing today?
Yeah, so we've been fortunate enough to gain like a lot of steam. I've been on feature on a couple local news stations. I was on Fox, I was on ABC, was on New York Fox. We try to promote on social media. We had a viral post over the summer. It's probably reached 3 million people across like TikTok and Instagram. So I'm really the marketing arm right now. But kind of word of mouth, and then utilizing social media until I have some money to devote to a different marketing effort.
And how are you getting to the franchisors? You're getting to the franchisors through social media?
No, I'm a salesman, so I mean, that's my thing.
Thanks. Gotcha.
So you're the main sales guy?
That's it.
Yeah, good. Is that size of that cone a typical size of another cone, or do I
Yes,
get
as a matter of fact,
options the size of the cone if I want more?
Well, this is our only size right now. Now it is a full serving size of candy, so it's.
So how many carbohydrates is that?
It's only 130 calories, made with allulose. So allulose is good for the glutens, but it keeps the calorie count down. But only 130 calories. It's mainly geared for the children. So you're having a whole piece of candy, you're having ice cream or ice. You don't want a king size ice cream, but it fits more volume than a traditional Joy cake cone, which is the standard cup cone that you see out.
Wow.
So a slightly more than that.
Is that nut free as well?
Yes, sir. Tree free, nut free.
Excellent.
Everything free. Except to the distributor, though. $1.50.
What's next after this? I mean, how do you see this business beyond scaling?
Yeah, absolutely. So my main lane is, like I said, food distributors, ice cream, water ice franchises. But I've also been approached by a couple major ice cream manufacturers in like the CPG space who were talking about licensing. So I'm hoping to lock that in as well. So I have a couple other products planned in the future. Shots, gummy shots, like just shot glass versions of these, but all kinds of different SKUs. I mean, we can come out with a new color and new flavor. The only thing that changes is the coloring and pick of flavor. So, I plan on having every flavor under the sun eventually, but plan to grow, this business as much as possible as core business, but I've had a lot of conversations where people are interested in this being like a grocery store item where you can go and get. So currently how it's packaged right now and is a food service item, but I've had a lot of interest in this becoming a grocery store item, so it's something I got to kind of map out and sort out.
What's your revenue so far? How much?
We're shy of $40,000 since June this year. But like I said, we had a couple-month break where we had to retool. We actually made it bigger. Some of the early feedback I got was a little small, and the cone sleeve was not good. So I had this paper cone sleeve before, which had better branding and stuff, but it was kind of a mess. Kids are eating it, it gets soggy, it can fold and crumble. So we switched over to a much sturdier cone sleeve, and it's a lot bigger now. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. A lot of fun, those cones. So our last Spark Bowl contestant is Nadia Alicia of Spanish Immersion TV. And please welcome her to the stage. Thank you.
Hello. This is Benji the Llama, and I'm Nadia from Spanish Immersion TV. Oh, am I already on? I'm so sorry. I didn't know that this was right on. All right, I'll come over here. Sorry. Can we restart the time, please? I wasn't told. I wasn't told that I was coming straight on. I thought I was being introduced. Sorry about that.
You started.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Alicia, and I've set out to make it easy for every child to become bilingual. And Benji the Llama here has been helping me do it. I am the founder of the first and only Spanish Immersion Learning Center in Lehigh Valley, PA, and creator of Spanish Immersion TV. This is not my presentation. Okay, yeah. There it goes. That's the one. Perfect. Apologies. I'm going to start over again. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Alicia, and I've set out to make it easy for every child to become bilingual. And Benji the Llama here has been helping me do it. I am the founder of the first and only Spanish Immersion Learning Center in Lehigh Valley, PA, and creator of Spanish Immersion TV. SITV is set to offer the most affordable, accessible, and quality Spanish preschool program for children ages 2 to 5. Parents, teachers, and the community in Bucks County will access this resource through our on-demand, subscription-based virtual preschool program. You see, Spanish is the second most spoken language in the US and the entire world. And this is not reflected in our education system, and this includes Bucks County. Our brains are most receptive to second language learning in our early childhood years, and it begins to decline after puberty, which is typically when children begin learning a second language in schools. In 2023, Central Bucks School District became the first school district in Bucks County to award the Pennsylvania Seal of Biliteracy to students who achieve tested proficiency in both Spanish and English. This seal highlights the value of bilingualism in Bucks County, and it gives graduates a competitive edge in college, business, and commerce. The truth is that parents everywhere understand the value of bilingualism and want their children to learn Spanish. But some of them lack their basic understanding of the language. They also have limited resources, so sometimes they resort to YouTube videos that are ad-filled, that are fragmented, and that lack continuity in the curriculum. So I'm here to introduce Spanish Immersion TV, an on-demand, subscription-based virtual preschool program for children ages 2 to 5 that is going to act as a companion resource and make children want to learn the Spanish language. This solution fulfills a clear unmet need, a Spanish language education program for preschool children that enables parents across Bucks County and beyond, regardless of income bracket, school district, and access to bilingual centers, to access high-quality language education at home. It is an educational program that parents and children can easily engage in because the content is presented using research-based instructional strategies that are specific to second language acquisition. SITV will be accessed at home, in preschools and childcare centers through a private app much like Netflix, Disney, and other catalog platforms. We are ready to implement a proof of concept prototype of SITV. With funding from the Learning Center, I have created a curriculum, teaching products, and circle time songs that are original for this program. In the past year, I have worked with Penn State Law to trademark Benji the Llama and have identified a partnership with PBS 39 Public Media Broadcast to pilot the program, thus reaching every home in Bucks County. Funding from winning this competition will be used to create a prototype of the app and to design high-quality media production that can compete with corporate language companies. Against our top competitors, SITV stands above in quality and accessibility. We have a 3-tier subscription-based business model that allows access for parents at $9.99 a month, teachers $24.99 a month, and organizations at $59.99 a month. Our marketing plan starts with local reach, Lehigh, Bucks, Montgomery, Philadelphia, marketing organically through social media groups, in-person marketing events, and email targeting campaigns, specifically with our interest lists that we already have growing. Here's a look at our gross sale projections for the first 3 months of launch. And here, operating expenses projections for the first 3 months of launch as well. As you can see, SITV is a scalable business, high impact, and solves a real problem for real families. Choosing Spanish Immersion TV and our friendly mascot, Benji the Llama, will certainly showcase the commitment that Del Val has with innovation, early childhood education, and digital equity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So as I understand it, the program does not exist yet.
Correct.
Okay. And when you listed, you gave us a one page, which I guess the audience hasn't seen, says sales target for launch. And for the first year, if I added this correctly, it's $24,000. What's your cost going to be for the full year?
So the sales target is actually about $100,000. It depends on the type of...
Well, what do you mean target?
What we're hoping to make within the first year.
Well, you handed out something that says 24,000 for the first year on your one page. So, okay.
Our target subscribers is going to be more than the first 3 months. That's during the first 3 months of launch.
It says 1 year. Okay. So you got 100,000 is your target for the first year, correct?
Yes.
And what do you think you're going to net on that? What's the net profit going to be?
Well, depending on whether or not we get our own production or if we are having to reach out to production companies to do this, a production of each episode could be about $5,000 to $7,000 or $8,000 if we reach out to another company to do it with us.
What do you see as the cost of development for the primary program, the base and all? The base that all of this will be built on. What do you see that as your cost?
About $40,000.
Okay.
So you mentioned in the one pager a social media group that has 80,000 members. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and
Yes.
who that is?
Sure. We run a social media group that is 80,000. That has 80,000 members in it. It's called Latinos de Allentown, and it actually bases, most of its subscribers from Allentown, and we're looking to push out this program through that venue as well, because we know that even though this program and this business could be used for learning Spanish, but it could also be used for children that are preschoolers who understand Spanish already, or families that want to keep the language in their culture.
And have you started to market through that social media site yet?
Yes, so actually we have an in-person program that is a Spanish immersion program that we market through this group currently, and we are starting to market the coming soon Spanish immersion TV through there.
Thank you.
I think you mentioned that if you would receive some award for tonight, you would use that to help develop your prototype app.
Yes.
How far along are you with that right now?
So we do not have an app currently built, so we would need to reach out to build an app for that. There is a platform called Uscreen that provides an online hub for these lessons that also has an app that can go along with it, but we would like to create our own app.
And then you mentioned about your competition. How's your price compared to the competition price?
So it's right up along with it. So we're at $9.99 a month for parent subscribers. Some others could be $12.99, $14.99. But the biggest difference that makes us stand out would be that we have quality in terms of native Spanish speaker instructor, also full immersion, meaning like all of the content is actually in Spanish. There's no translations, and that's very important. In research and practice, we know that the best way to learn the language is through full immersion.
Are you the on-air person, or do you have a team that you're going to use, or how do you deal with it?
I am. So I am a preschool teacher myself, and everything that children will see through the screen is what I actually do in real life.
Is this a job you're going to take full-time if you get into this? I mean,
Absolutely. Yes.
So what organizations are you going to sell to? School districts or
Yes. So,
fairs? Let me understand that better.
so first off, parents, individuals, some of them are homeschooling parents, and a lot of the times there's not a lot of language curriculum that they can incorporate, not being very fluent with the language, a lot of them, so this is going to be a great way for them to incorporate language into their curriculum, and we have a lot of homeschool parents after 2020. So that's one of our targets. The second would be our preschools and childcare centers. We know that not every childcare center may have the staff or the curriculum to incorporate a bit of language learning into their curriculum, and those childcare centers and preschools that are high rate quality, right? They have curriculum that is diverse, that incorporates languages as well. And then we are also looking at school districts or charter schools, organizations that want to push this program out to their kindergarten classes to incorporate as an exploratory learning experience.
So you mentioned that the competition is selling ads, or that they're filled with ads. Do you intend to have advertising and use that as a source of revenue?
At this moment, I would love to have a program that is ad-free. Of course, this would happen through lots of subscribers, right, to the program, and that's what I'm hoping to do. So starting locally, we have a partnership with PBS 39 Public Media, and so they're going to be airing some episodes and segments that are going to help us get a nice space and a nice platform to then get as many subscribers as we possibly can for our program.
There are Spanish television stations and cable and all. Have you thought, or have you talked to any of them about maybe working with them to develop, because they have the infrastructure to produce, they have the writers, editors, and others. Have you discussed this with any of them?
So we've only had discussions with PBS 39, which is what we're going to be recording actually in December. So because we are a startup company, we want to make sure that we go, in steps and not get too ahead of ourselves. First, try out what is going to happen with PBS 39, how that works, because we are new to that realm and the TV realm, right? So I'm a preschool teacher. I know how to create instructional material and deliver instruction in a second language to preschoolers, and that is a bit different than having to learn about that world and the world of television, and so that's what we're learning now with PBS 39.
What do you think it would cost to develop the app? Do you have an estimate?
Yes, about 15 to 20,000 is what we're looking at.
So how many episodes do you produce a week?
3. We could probably produce about 12 episodes a week, depending on how often we can get into the studio. In this case, when we're working with PBS 39, for example, we're going to be recording 12 episodes within 2 weeks, just because of timing and scheduling.
Yeah, so if we do the math on that to get to your revenue number, what does that work out to?
Well, it really all depends on whether we could just, right now, since they are sponsoring our production, basically, we're kind of held to whatever schedule they have. But technically, each episode is about 20 minutes. So you can record up to, 5, 6 episodes per day. So it all depends on who's sponsoring it, how we're getting to that production. If it's inside production, then we can go a lot faster than that. We can record 5, 6 episodes per day and be done in a couple weeks.
How many episodes do you think you need to have a full curriculum?
Well, we need 12 episodes per month. So times 12.
Are you getting paid by PBS, or are they just providing the production costs for you?
So they are paying for the time that I am recording, but they are providing the platform so that we can get out there. It's really what we're looking for.
Are they going to help you get this in to where you want to have this, be it schools or whatever?
Yes, so we actually did an event the day before yesterday that incorporated activities that are going on with the community and school, bringing schools into PBS 39 and actually presenting what we're doing to all of them, including the district superintendent. So this is kind of the platform that we're going to be using to get out there, and yes.
How are you going to get this sold with the school? You got 6 seconds.
How are we going to get the school?
Sold, yeah. Oh, well, we'll do it another time.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Betsy, let's go.
Thank you, Nadia. And thank you to all of our contestants for these really fantastic pitches. Good job. So as this concludes the competitive presentations, the judges will now leave to deliberate. I imagine that these decisions are going to be pretty tough. So while the judges are tallying up the results, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank a number of people here at Del Val working behind the scenes to make the Spark Bowl happen. We have a really fantastic team. I'm grateful to the faculty of our Business and Information Management Department who have volunteered their time and worked with our students, specifically Dr. Jeff Waring, Stephen Byland, and Christine Seal. So thank you. And I also especially want to thank our business advisor, the manager of events planning, who helped put the show on. And I can't forget someone very important who's working behind the curtain over there, Laura Rambo, who's responsible for a lot of the behind the scenes of what happens and all of the emails that go back and forth and a bunch of spreadsheets to make sure that we're organized. Thank you to our partners, Teresa Farah and the Central Bucks Chamber of Commerce, Barry Fleck and Startup Bucks, and our media sponsor, the Bucks County Herald. Okay, another clap. And finally, I want to thank all of our sponsors whose generous support made this event possible, and a special shout out goes to our Ignite sponsor, Aramark Collegiate Hospitality, for their lead contribution to this event and for the delicious catering. You know, they did an excellent job. So thank you very much. We now have a brief video from last year's Spark Bowl winners, Horace Health. They were going to be here, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. So at least we get to see them on video.
Hi, I'm Akil. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Horace Health. We're tackling the problem of revenue leakage in hospitals by using AI agents that autonomously review 100% of patient records to uncover millions in missed revenue and reduce medical billing errors, helping healthcare teams capture value faster and work smarter than ever before. The Spark Bowl was a huge milestone for us. It gave us the confidence to put ourselves out there, even when things were still very early. The feedback from judges and mentors helped us refine not just our pitch, but the way we thought about our company, forcing us to break the problem down to first principles and really understand where the true value lies. It also opened many doors. That early visibility made it easier to connect with mentors and investors, who later helped us get into VIPX at Penn and secure our first Wharton Innovation Fund grant. Those experiences build the foundation for the partnerships we now have with places like the University of Florida Health and Vanderbilt. Since the Spark Bowl, we've raised more than $75,000 in non-dilutive grants. We'll be raising $500,000 in a pre-seed round at the start of Q1 2026. We've also completely built out our 3 products as part of the Chorus product suite and signed contracts or launched pilots with major organizations including University of Florida Health, Vanderbilt University Medical Center, American Healthcare Systems, E4 Health, and iMagnum Healthcare Solutions. We're now on track to be in more than 25 hospitals by Q2 of 2026. scaling a platform that's helping healthcare teams capture revenue, ensure compliance, and work more efficiently than ever before. Good luck to all of this year's SmartGoal teams. Put yourself out there, trust your vision, and remember, every big company starts with one bold idea.
happen to see her, let her know that I'm writing.
Oh, do you?
She is the yoga studio where I'm teaching. She is the owner, a new owner, and she's ready to read your book. And I'll be sharing tips. Yeah. And somebody on the somebody on stage said Instagram. Nice. Yes. Yes. She did yoga teacher training with IJ, and now she's in the studio as a and at 300 hours, 200 hour, hour at teaching. And she also has a safe. I know, like she was who I was talking about. If you ever need a safe, more let her know. Okay.
So we could accommodate.
Like 3 times.
Oh, okay.
It's challenging, but it's a really important space. I see why you.
I'm sorry.
It's just also. She's doing right now with Green Garden and swimming
So is it
all of the that was fascinating. You know, it's big shoot,
When this,
but
we'll help with the check. We're going to announce the winners.
Am I up?
Yes, you are.
Okay. The judges have decided that we will make the announcement tomorrow. No, we wouldn't dare. I wouldn't even get off the stage before somebody had. It's obviously it's tough, and it's hard to get through this because there's so many people that work so hard, and we certainly do appreciate the hard work that goes into this and to get started. But we'll start with the third place. The third place gets $3,000. And also remember the student teams get money also, and that doesn't happen at any other competition like this. So third place is BH Botanicals. Where are they? There you go. Come here.
You can come on up, Brandon. Yeah, so we'll get Brandon first, and then we'll get the student. You guys come up afterwards. Congratulations. Come on over.
Oh, sure.
Let's make sure to move over here. We want to be in the light, I was told.
Another one.
Thank you. In second place, with a prize of $6,000, goes to Mojo's.
We're walking down.
Tell him to run.
You want to fit.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. Oh, you have it. Yeah, we. It's in the back. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations.
Okay, already.
Okay, now student team. Congratulations. Okay.
And finally, in first place, Bottomals. Thank you. Congratulations. Please.
Turn it the right way.
Straighten that out. There you go. That's good. That's good.
Okay, now the student team.
Come out, yeah.
I didn't mention, the first prize is $12,000. The student team is getting $3,000. And we thank the sponsors and all that made this possible. All of the money that comes for the prizes and for everything here is all donated. It's not coming out of the budget of the university, and it helps the university here with these wonderful people. So thank you all for being here, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, it was fun. It's always really fun. So good to see you too. Yeah, I know.
Should we take pictures with the judges? I feel like we should.
they doing?
So does that just get taken away from our tuition?
Okay. Sign the checks. Did I sign the checks? No, Ben signed